offline.
And welcome to Barroom Radio with Alex Williams. I'm here live here from the Barroom Studio, reviewing Mayhem recap last night here. Just gonna give you a little bit of insight. So last night I would give to overall show quality, not including matches and leaving everything, but the storyline itself. I'm gonna go and give it a sharp probably a 4.5 stars. It was a really good show last night. A lot of drama, a lot of um, makeshift things happen, and we're gonna get through all that here. So Dalton comes out, kicks off the show, says Brad Richards, he doesn't deserve his title. He doesn't deserve this. He doesn't deserve that. He's never been a champion. He has been avoiding all the situations. So it was kind of cool to see Dalton kind of come out of his shell live here at the show. So it was kind of a cool, surreal moment. Opening the show, they announced that there's going to be a 2-on-1 handicap match from last week, and it was going to be JJ Striker and Dalton versus Brad Richards. So I think that was a pretty cool piece there for them to do. And then after that, we had a little bit of a commotion come up in the form of Andre Brooks. So Andre comes out his home state of Detroit City, comes out chilling, having a good time, and then what does Andre do? That's right, Andre does what Andre does best. Boom, huge, huge pop. Detroit City, 23,000. It was an incredible moment. Everybody was on their feet for him. And then the darkness hit. A voice came over the mic and started just kind of parading exactly what he was doing, and it was kind of weird that he was talking about this stuff, but in general he was talking about what it was like to for him, and he was kind of signaling his retirement match in the sense of what he was trying to do, and they didn't tell him who his opponent was. Well, then all of a sudden he said, and this voice comes over and starts saying, 3 years ago you left me on your porch or whatever, on your doorstep, and you left me there, and then and everybody thought it was Daniel Storm. Everybody thought it was Daniel Storm. But to be surprised and blown away that it was MD the whole time. MD has not taken foot in an NCPW ring in almost 3 years. So that was a complete shock to everyone. Blown away. And then he does the F5 on to Andre Brooks, lays him laying in the ring. Really rough moment, if you have to ask me. And then we advance to a match, I believe, and that was going to be Randall Young versus Christian Jackson Jr. But before that took place, there was another attack from Randall Young on the Prince Bubblegum, leaving him defenseless in the ring. Basically beat him up really bad. Did not have a match that night like Prince Bubblegum was supposed to. But after that wide variety of shots, I mean, it was absolutely just wow. So moving into another topic here, it was absolutely just mind-boggling, that kind of match. Randall Young beat him with everything he had, left him so broken. I mean, it was really tough to watch. I'm not gonna lie. And they had a match, and Randall Young then disqualifies himself and starts beating the hell out of Christian Jackson Jr., who didn't even get off but a few moves. The kendo stick to the face whipped him right across the face. It was an ugly, quick match. Nothing too spectacular to talk about. And then we moved on to Sebastian Just going backstage to talk about what it was like, last week when they shaved his mustache. They did all this demonic stuff. And all of a sudden, Drake Jackson comes in and just destroys the whole interview. Takes Sebastian Just, and I think the darkest we've ever seen him. He's taking his teeth, taking, all this and crunching his teeth and busting his face into the floor. And I think it was the most aggression we've ever seen, or the voices there. It was pretty darn aggressive. And I definitely thought that was kind of a cool moment there. But then we advance to Hunter Jones and Jacob Williams, aka the Industry, versus Mark Stone. And I'm not gonna lie, it was a relatively short match. Nothing uh, makes this match great. I'm gonna give it a three, 2.5 to 3 stars. I did feel like the match had some good back and forth, but it just didn't keep my attention enough. Hunter Jones definitely a talent that's coming up, and especially maybe a tag team talent with him tagging in the industry. So that was kind of cool. Overall, the ring work was good. Mark Stone definitely. Um, you can see a little bit of holes in his game. But like I said, this podcast is all about making good notes and using them. So if I had to take my guess, Hunter Jones definitely is probably premier talent. I think he needs a side piece almost to make him a little bit better. Not just choreography wise, but I think he's a better tag team wrestler than he probably is a singles wrestler. Just doesn't know how to really carry a match momentum, which is okay. Not a lot of guys can do that. So I definitely say Hunter Jones did a really nice job though at cleaning up the match and making sure it got done and got the job done. Hats off to him. I love the manager Jacob Williams. He did really good work last night in managing him, keeping him motivated, etc. And then we get into Mark Stone. His individual performance was okay. Like I said, I was talking about his holes in his game. Um, he needs to turn that around. My guess is he'll probably be some sort of tag team wrestler as well. I think younger guys need a little bit more help, and I think tag teams are an awesome way to redo careers and figure them out. But overall, the match, like I said, 2.5 stars, 3 stars. So not too bad. And then we got into Hunter Jones's promo and the industry talking about how they want to go after the tag team titles, which was a good move. I'm not gonna lie, they really want to take it over. Um, I was looking at the dirt sheets earlier today, and I'm hearing reports that there's going to be some kind of tag team match taking place at Blast from the Past. So I'm going to take a guess that the dirt sheet means that it's going to be at Blast for the Past, probably the industry versus some sort of tag team. So moving on here, we got to the main event, and then what happened is Brad Richards versus Dalton versus JJ Striker in that 2-on-1 handicap match. And the handicap match was it was a little different. Brad just could not seem to get off the paint. I don't know what it was. He seemed sluggish in the ring, but he is the global world champion, so that's cool. He did his job and his part to keep the global title relevant. Um, Following up this match, I'm going to give this match about 2.5 stars. Nothing too fancy. Dalton did some nice ring work. Just felt a little bit pushed, which, you know, I think that they were close to running out of time for airtime, so I think that they were trying to rush a lot of what they were trying to do in that time period. Definitely not the greatest of matches, but whatever. It was cool to see Brad Richards, and I don't think they were trying to do that at all. I think it was more of a storyline push more than a match. So I know we only had like 2 or 3 matches on the card, but everybody's trying to push for that Blast from the Past, which it's a huge card. I mean, absolutely stunning. And we'll get a little bit more into that, and we'll kind of foresee the card here in just a minute. But overall, good match. Not terrible quality. They did a really nice job at fixing some things up. Dalton and Brad is sure to be one hell of a swinging match going into the pay-per-view. So then at the end of the match, JJ Striker is still laying on the mat after Dalton turns on him in the match. Brad Richards picking up the win. Um, 1, 2, 3. Eric Mason appears and starts beating up JJ Striker, telling him he regrets his decisions and he will forget. He forgets who he is. Eric with the ADHD theme song comes out, tears him a new one. So that was a little bit interesting. But taking a look at a Blast from the Past card here, absolutely all the way up. So the retirement match for Andre Brooks takes place in versus MD at the pay-per-view, which was really, really, really neat. We also got JJ Striker versus Eric Mason booked, most likely on the dirt sheet. It's not confirmed, but it is most likely booked. Then we've got the Hell in the Cell match between Sebastian Jess and Drake Jackson. Um, so that's going to be a super, super cool match. I expect a lot of talent out of that match. The Grand Championship, which just got turned into an Extreme Rules match last night. Prince Bubblegum versus Randall Young. That's going to sure to be a hellfire. And our main event, the Global Championship, Brad Richards versus Dalton. And this takes place in Knoxville, Tennessee on April 29th. Um, so we have a little bit more to talk about next week, being the final episode. And we conclude here today with our last part of the episode. And we will see you next week on Bar Room Radio.